Whatever they want. It is. So left leg, left leg. Straight here. Straight in back. Thank you very much. Whatever they want. It is.
A tremendous artist, Bob Dylan, someone I look up to hugely. Someone who was as impactful in the United Kingdom as he was in the United States. And somebody who was a dream to play, dream to learn his worldview. And it's something I hope, I'm excited to see young faces like myself in the crowd, because I want this to be a bridge to this kind of music, So very happy for everyone here, and I'm happy this movie's finally coming out in the UK. James is an actor's director, I hope you see it in A Complete Unknown. You definitely see it in Girl Interrupted, and I was hoping that was gonna happen. Logan, Walk the Line, Indiana Jones. So he's a master. Oh yeah,
Being able
I can rip
to-
a harmonica now.
You are
yes.
crying out for someone to turn up with a harmonica or a guitar.
ready for it.
Go
I'm ready
for
for
it.
it. Oh, the best. We had the most talented cast, and for those that haven't seen the movie yet, Elle Fanning and Monica and Edward and Boyd, they're incredible. We actually got an incredible cast. This isn't like movie PR bullshit. Like, we worked our asses off on this. This movie's well worth it. It's easy to talk about because Bob Dylan's easy to talk about, and the movie, I don't want to be overconfident, but we really did our job. It would feel totally strange to work on someone's life who's alive and well if they didn't want you to work on it. So a big thank you to the tremendous artist that is Bob Dylan, and I hope we did him justice.
You absolutely did.
Yeah.
I loved this time. I loved the music at this time. I was very immersed in it. I moved to Greenwich Village. I used to go to a restaurant that's in Pete Seeger's old house. When I was 21, 22, I used to go there after I'd see downtown theater. And the characters in this film are all people that were very mythological to me. Banjo is hard. There's no two ways about it. I played guitar a long time, so that helped. But the banjo frustrated me, and it frustrates everybody. You talk to people. Pete Seeger was a virtuoso. He was like I was thinking about calling Steve Martin and asking if he would just stick his hands under my armpits and do it for me, because he's the only actor I know who really plays it well.
In a way?
No, the whole thing was a joy. I mean, I'm being funny, but the musical component of this was a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing. I don't expect to have that opportunity to sink into music that I love like that very often. Sometimes I think there aren't a lot of people who have the chemistry to fit within someone that distinctive, and I think he did it brilliantly, not as caricature or imitation, but really kind of digging into his deep contrarian and nature and to the passionate conviction he had in following his own line. I think Timothee, I don't want to say too much about it, but it's a truly titanic performance. It's wonderful. I mean, you can go into story, but way beyond this film, Blood on the Tracks is my favorite album. But even, Time Out of Mind, the songs he wrote for Ang Lee's movie, he's got so many great faces. I think the Free Will in Bob Dylan and Blood on the Tracks is where I would tell people to start. Yeah. I think it's a wonderful experience of real immersion in a time in American life that was very, very fertile and very intense, and and because the music's great.
I mean, she's so open in so many of her memoirs and documentaries. Like, she wasn't withholding information about herself, and so I felt like I had a lot to work with already, but there was just that final piece that I felt like I just needed to speak with her, and I felt like it was a very Joan thing to do, to reach out and, you know, be bold enough to try. And she was just so generous to give me her time, and yeah, I'm forever grateful to her for that. Yeah, yes, and very intimidating, and I mean, I was excited to speak to her, and also just wanted to pay all due respect, and yeah, it was crazy. Of what I sang? Oh man, I mean, I love her rendition of House of the Rising Sun, and I love Farewell Angelina. The lyrics of that song are just devastating. Don't Think Twice. I mean, it's a whole movie about him writing because he's a brilliant lyricist. So, you know, it's hard to choose. Timothee's incredible. I admired his work so much before I was ever a part of this film, and so,
Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Fogler joins me now.
So getting to work with him on this film was just, I mean, it was a dream, and getting to collaborate musically together, I mean, that just was phenomenal. So I'm very proud of him in this film, and Ed and Boyd and Elle is incredible, and we're all just like, I don't know, I'm just happy for everybody, I'm proud of everybody.
It feels excellent. You know, the Joker and the thief in this song.
Yeah?
Albert is supposedly the thief. How are you, Bob? Yeah, so I think that's really cool. I'm so excited to be here. Look at Ed Norton. Albert Grossman. Albert Grossman is Bob Dylan's wild manager. You can actually see him in some of the documentaries, and he's got this incredible hair. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of him, but a man with that kind of hair, he's got to have enormous testicles, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was so fun to play Albert. Yeah, I basically, my job was easy. Albert was in the midst of all of this talent. And so I just walked on set, you know, there's Ed and there's Timmy and Jim directing. It's like I wasn't really acting. I was just being me in awe of this talent, you know, and so I just put that into Albert, and I think you can see that awe in my face in the film, you know. From day one, he was just in full character, and he wasn't like call me Bob or anything. He was a sweetheart, really. He was like, he's a great quarterback, as they say. Number one on the list. Any movie where Timmy is number one on the list, it would be a pleasure to do that movie. Yeah, he didn't let it get to his head, but he was full on in it, man. I mean, like singing over and over and over and over and over again. And I just got to sit down, like I said, and just watch in awe. Like, oh my God, he's doing it. Like, he's really doing it. Day one. And I think it shows. I think he's gotten a lot of great attention. And I think that, you know, I think he'll hopefully go all the way with this. You know, he's in character. Like, the first time I'm on set is a scene where he's singing, "Where have you been, my blue-eyed son?" over and over and over again. And I'm supposed to whisper into Ed's ear, "This is it, the moment, it's happening, you know, folk music, it's happening." And it's Timmy's here. And so that was my first time on set. And I remember I'm in a lot of suits. And I love the suits. It was hot, so I would have to go and get some air, and I would go out and there would be Timmy there, you know, and sitting in his chair doing the same thing, and it wasn't, he wasn't like, get out of here, and he could have totally been like that, but he was so inviting. He was like, come on, man, the air's for everybody, you know. It was like, what a sweetheart. And he didn't have to do that, and he really, he was able to balance everything really nice. I love it. I mean, I'm on set and fan of his, Copland, and Walk the Line and Logan, and it's like, okay, we are in good hands. Like Walk the Line is one of my favorite films ever. And I'd never been on set with a director who just like had such a complete vision.
Yeah, we were nervous.
And he had all the puzzle pieces in his pockets, you know. So here we are, we're shooting in April, in June, and now suddenly we're here. And, you know, it's award season. I've never been in such a machine like that, and it's just impressive just to see. Wow, he's only shooting this 6 months ago, you know. And usually I'm in films it takes a little while, you know, it takes a year or two to come out, but here we are, we're on the fast track, and that was impressive to see it come to fruition. I mean, I was introduced through Jimi Hendrix, who was singing like a Rolling Stone. And so that's a good start. Rolling Stone, that song is, the lyrics are it's just poetry, and it's inspiring for all artists. You listen to that song and you're like, yeah, I am out here and I am doing it and I'm making it happen, and it's kind of like an anthem for us, so I would start with that one.
The great thing about Bob Dylan is that he refused to be defined by one thing or put in a box, and it was a wonderful opportunity to help be part of this character development and this individual man with his own style that is reflected in the way he dresses in his music. Jim is just absolutely the best director to work with. He's really collaborative, and beyond costumes, Jim involves all of us, Faden Papa Michael, the cinematographer, and Francois Odoui, the production designer. We have these cross conversations, and being able to have input in crosstalk across departments is wonderful, and Jim really expects his collaborators to go beyond our job and collaborate in very big ways. It's fantastic. I feel very seen and valued in my work with Jim and considered, and it's very special. Super hard to choose my favorite, but I do quite like the first costume because it just shows us a side of Bob Dylan that we're unfamiliar with, not well documented before he was known. And then I love his mod look in '65, and of course the polka dot shirt, which is really a moment that I saw in research that we had to recreate. So there's a lot of gems. Well, I think generationally, people who might be familiar with Bob Dylan, the name, and not the music, will be surprised when they see the movie, and they'll be like, oh, I know that song because it's so part of our culture. And also I think that the themes in the film, the themes in the film are relevant today, and hopefully inspiring in terms of how music and social justice can make positive change in the world.